Okay, so there's a trend today online, usually amongst filmmakers and photographers on YouTube, creating titles like, "You need this," or "This thing will change your life." It's usually in all caps. It's also usually sensational, clickbait, and complete bullshit. First, I see nothing wrong with promoting products or giving recommendations based upon things that have added value to your life. Say you've got a camera or a backpack and it's served you well over the years, you've gotten a lot of function, use, or even joy out of it. I think it's completely fine to share that with your audience or your friends. I even think it's okay to make money doing that, to get paid to do it. Just because I don't monetize my videos, I don't put advertisements or sponsorships, doesn't mean that I think that it's immoral. It's just a path that I don't want to go down right now. I want to try to see if there's an alternate way to make a living as a content creator. But I do think we need to draw a line in the sand. There's a difference between simply recommending a product, even enthusiastically, even for money, and trying to make people feel like they won't be complete until they get this one thing. It's one of the earlier tactics that was applied by advertisers. They tell people what they should want and create desire. In the first half of the 20th century, marketers didn't need to be very clever.
Now that's what I call a good-looking car.
But when consumers became more skeptical of advertising, the messaging had to smarten up as well.
What happens actually beginning in the 1960s is there's a revolt against advertising as a cultural authority. And so beginning in the 60s with the famous Volkswagen ads in which the Volkswagen Beetle is advertised as sort of the anti-Detroit, you know, the ugly car instead of the beautiful, luxurious with the tail fins and all of that. Here's this squat little anti-car. Advertising takes on that sort of countercultural messaging. The interesting part about it is that they are putting forward an anti-corporate, anti-commercial messaging in order to sell products.
That's advertising. Going out of its way to interest you, entertain you, reward you for your time.
Advertising has continued to evolve and embed itself deeper into culture. Obvious product placements have turned into sponsored social posts, and educational TV spots have turned into content marketing.
We've seen advertisers move in that direction in a big way over the last couple of decades because people don't have the same kind of skepticism. Their antennae aren't up.
And now it seems like we've come full circle. But this time, we're selling the bullshit to each other. Here's the thing. I realize that it's really challenging to come up with a great, catchy title for your videos. So in this video, I thought it'd be a great idea to maybe take some of these titles that I think are unhelpful and unhealthy and just rephrase them. Try to figure out a way that I could get creative to make the videos as successful as they are without making people feel like crap. So instead of using a title like "The Lens You Must Have," how about "A Powerful Lens for Portraits"? And instead of a title like "You Need This Travel Bag," in parentheses, seriously, how about "I love all caps, but not for every word"? And finally, instead of "The Camera You Need," how about "This camera might be helpful, but there are a lot of cameras that are great, so I shouldn't assume what you need for your specific projects"? So I don't want to be too hard on the people that use these tactics. There are even people that I respect and admire and really like that use them. But I am saying that I think we can be a little bit better. We can be a little bit more helpful. And it really takes our responsibility, our ownership of these videos and titles. And just because something's going to work, just because you're going to use a clickbait title that's a bit sensational means you're going to get X amount more views. You need to ask yourself, how many views do you need if you only got 200,000 views on this video? Would that be a shame, or did you need 500,000 views? And if it's at the cost of making other people feel like they need something, I think that's when we need to start looking inside and realizing that these tactics really are bullshit, not helpful. The difference between version 1 and version 2 of your camera isn't going to be the difference between you being a shitty filmmaker and a great filmmaker. If you really want to make that difference, make that leap from bad to good, you need to make as many videos as you possibly can and continue to hone the craft. And I'll tell you what, you probably have everything you already need right now. If you've got an entry-level camera, even if you've got an iPhone, you've got enough to get started. And yes, you can reinvest down the road as you start to make money in your creative field, but try not to feel like you need these things in order to get success. You need these things in order to make an amazing film, because that's simply not true. All right, let me know in the comments if you guys think that I've lost my damn mind and this is something that you don't care about or are thinking about at all. Of course, many of the times I have ideas about advertising that aren't shared among the world, let alone my small audience here. So feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really excited to hear from you guys and hear your thoughts on this topic. And of course, if you want to help support this ad-free channel, you can contribute on Patreon. I make exclusive videos every single month that I don't release anywhere else. So I talk about lifestyle design, business, filmmaking, creativity, all that good stuff. And of course, if you don't have the money to contribute to my Patreon account, do not feel pressured. I want you to continue to enjoy my content guilt-free. You do not need my Patreon content, but it might help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.